Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Essence in You. I am your host, Sheila, and guess who I have on today? Marni, help me.
Beninger.
Beninger.
Yeah,
Beninger.
you
She
got it.
is a rebirth alchemist. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Marni. Marni is a rebirth alchemist and the founder of San Sankalpa.
Sankalpa. Yeah.
Sankalpa. I had it before I did this. Sankalpa Women's Collective, a sacred sanctuary guiding women from martyrdom. I know I said that wrong. And silence into sovereign leadership, voice, and sacred success. Through her transformational framework, from the silent, she is the sacred siren. Marni blends ancient Ayurvedic wisdom, womb alchemy, soulful business mentorship, and sisterhood to help women reclaim their voice, worth, and power. Isn't that awesome? I think that's awesome. Girl, that's awesome.
I
You
think I
got it
just
going
gave
on.
you a whole bunch of mouthful of words, though.
Now, I want you to tell us about yourself in your own words.
Yeah, of course. So I started Sankalpa. It's gone through a couple iterations, but about 2 years ago, I've been an entrepreneur for the last 20 plus years, though,
Oh,
or
wow.
everything from a wedding and event planning business to a full 4,000 square foot spa, to a cafe, an Ayurvedic cafe, to online businesses. So I've kind of seen it and done it all.
Mhm.
Um, I'm a mama of three beautiful wild boys that are still young. They're still like 7, 10, and 12. So we're still in the thick of it all. But Sankalpa was really formed out of this need for like goddesses to come together and be in sistership and really move from being silent to being
Mhm.
this siren, to be bringing their voices to get the desires and the wealth and the abundance of love and health and joy into their lives. And I just, through deep feminine work, priestesshood certifications and womb alchemy work, and then Ayurveda is my main base, that I've
Mhm.
been studying for 5 plus years now, is this whole thing came together that's just like blending this magic together to help women rise.
Wow. Now, for those out there, what does Ayurvedic mean?
Yes, great question. So
Mm-hmm.
Ayurveda predates like Chinese medicine. So it's like a 5,000 plus. It's from the East as well, from India. And it really works with your like natural cycles, with the environment's natural cycles, with your body's natural cycles. And it looks at you hear the word holistic. It's such a like
Mm-hmm.
catch term nowadays, but Ayurveda truly does. It takes in body, soul, mind, emotions, all of it, and really brings you back into this balance. Like we all are born with this, what's called our dosha,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a way that we can be the happiest and healthiest that we can be. And Ayurveda, through like food and lifestyle practices and herbs, and there are treatments and stuff that you can do or that are amazing as well, but mainly through food, it's accessible to everyone through food and lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Just brings you back into this balance and makes you your own healer and brings your own medicine out.
Oh, wow. Now, my question to you is, I have a lot of questions for you. You know how we're gonna chit chat, but how did you get into that? I mean, what led you down that path, or what came in your path to say, you know what, I want to try that? How did that come to be?
I know, because I'm a very like white, I live in Canada, northern girl. Like I am not your typical like Ayurvedic like practitioner, right? So and yeah, I always say I'm like the whitest of the white. I go from like white to like burnt. That's my setting. But it was probably in my very early 20s, so 20 plus years ago. I worked in a spa back when I was living in Calgary, Alberta, going to university. And there was a Ayurvedic practitioner there, and she did these treatments. One was called the Shirodara. I can't remember what else. She might have done an Abhyanga on me, which is like a beautiful warm oil massage, just like
Is that
divine.
the one they pour on your forehead?
That's the Shirodara. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she had given me both of those. That's the first time I got introduced to it, but I didn't really like gravitate towards it. I was like, that was beautiful and calming
Mm-hmm.
and nice. Okay, I'm moving on. Like I didn't really, she didn't tell me more about it. And then it was actually and when I bought my spa, that was my main business for 14 years, my spa and wellness center, they also had Ayurvedic treatments, but they were
Mm-hmm.
very westernized. They were very like, here, we're just going to teach you how to do it with no knowledge on like the actual base of Ayurveda, the root of what they do. It was just like, here, you can drip oil on someone's third eye and it's going to make them feel better. And that was kind of the,
Mm-hmm.
so they lost the whole like ethnic, the whole point of it, actually. They just did
The
the
whole
like,
essence of it.
well, essence. Thank you. That's the exact word that it is. They lost the essence. And it
Mm-hmm.
was when COVID hit, actually, because I had my spa and wellness center. It had just hit just the year before, hit just about $1 million in revenue. And so, and I had 40 employees and it was this massive thing. Then COVID hit and we had to be out of our lease. And I picked up my business and was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I just picked it up and I kept selling products. And my younger brother had just come back from India and had been studying. He did a yoga teacher training and studied Ayurveda. And he was like, hey, remember when you had told me about this like 20 years ago? And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
and so he kind of resparked my interest. And it was at that time that I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to open my spa again. I don't know what this world of post COVID is going to look like,
Right.
how long we'll be in COVID. And, and so I started like just dabble studying, I like to say, because I didn't go into a full program. And then it was 3 years ago now, I went into my full like Ayurvedic health counselor program. So I did that for 3 years, pretty like full time ish. And then
Mm-hmm.
I went down to Santa Barbara and did my like Ayurvedic body treatments, Panchakarma is what
Mm-hmm.
it's called, training as well, so that I have the physical and I can work like remotely as well. So it just like sparked this and it just made sense because I was like, oh yeah, get to the root of the problem. It was everything I'd been spouting for years about like getting to the root
Mm-hmm.
of the problem, working collaboratively, looking at the whole body system instead of like when you get a massage and they focus on like your sore back and that's it. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing else to
Mm-hmm.
it. And I was like, this all actually just really makes sense to me. It just really somewhere in my soul called me and was like, you need to learn this because it's your path forward.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you come up with the name
Sankalpa.
Sankalpa?
I know.
Yeah.
It's actually a Sanskrit word. So because Ayurveda is based on the Indian
Mm-hmm.
or from India, they use Sanskrit as a
Mm-hmm.
lot of their terms. So Sankalpa actually means your heart's truest desire. And
Oh,
so
wow.
when I heard that word the very first, I think it was the very first class I did in one of my programs, I was like, that just like sung to me. I was like, we don't talk about our heart's deepest desire. And here we
Mm-hmm.
were, first class, diving into like, what's your Zankalpa? What's your like heart's deepest desire singing out to be heard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. So tell me, what is your greatest gift for yourself at this moment? What do you feel most proud of about yourself at this moment in your
Mm,
life?
great question, goddess. You know what it is? Is it's actually being in my feminine flow, which is funny because this week I've been teaching a whole class on like wealth womb and
Mm-hmm.
worthiness. And today was like we did feminine flow, and I was like, oh, it just hit me today because there was a whole bunch of tech issues and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't record the first half of it and all these things happen. And these things when I was in my masculine would have like
Mm-hmm.
I was such a perfectionist and overgiver and like people pleaser that I would have panicked and I would have had this like been so hard on myself, but I've been doing all this feminine work and like teaching this feminine stuff. And today it was like, oh, it didn't even phase me. I was just like, oh, that happened. And I just
Mm-hmm.
could flow with it and just allow it to be. And I had that moment of celebration afterwards and was
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, I didn't even, it didn't even like, it didn't even register basically that it happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just something that happened and I moved along. And
Right.
that for me is huge because I was a very much a perfectionist, very much a people pleaser, and had to be like, everything has to just be perfect and everyone has to be happy. And so now I'm going, from this feminine flow spot where I'm actually just letting the divine guide me. I'm not even
Mhm.
creating these plans before the morning of the class. Like it's a whole new
Mhm.
world of living. And so right now, I really truly feel like I'm embodying that feminine flow. And that's been a huge step because I've been in my masculine for, the whole other 40 years of my life. So
Right. It's funny that you said that you're just going to follow what your feminine flow is going to be. Because I was listening to something today, and I had somebody had said to me, just follow your heart, have faith, and follow the flow. Because you'll get your ancestors, or will give you your signs and signals, and you just have to trust, don't question, and just do it. And this is my second validation for that, which you had just said.
yep.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
so that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. If you pay attention, the signs and signals are there
Yeah.
that they're guiding you in the right direction, and trusting within, trusting yourself and not trusting outward. And that is the whole get it
Mhm.
portion, is to trust within instead of trusting somebody else, trusting yourself more and more and more. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm learning to do.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it can be challenging. This is the first time I've ever run a full, like, 5-day challenge on feminine flow because normally I would,
Mhm.
like, prepare everything beforehand, but it was it's been really beautiful seeing the magic come through. It's just a whole different experience when you're truly embodying the feminine and allowing the
Mhm.
like you said, the divine, your guides, your ancestors, God, the universe, whatever word you wanna put here,
What do you use it? Yep. Mhm. Exactly.
but you let
Whatever one resonates with you.
right? You let them
Mhm.
co-create with you and they're gonna be there. Like,
Mhm.
they already have your back. You just usually try to fight them. So,
Mhm.
instead, when you embrace
Yeah.
it and embrace your inner knowing, it's like, "Oh, this is where magic lives."
Now tell everybody about that feminine flow you keep talking about.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
feminine flow is so it's interesting because today in class came up like we were talking about like tight jeans and like heels and a mini skirt and or like a
Mhm.
business suit. And I'm like, that's the what the masculine put onto the feminine to make us like think we're feminine. It was like this mask
Mhm.
that got put on that was like, here, wear this, and you're feminine, right? You're bringing feminine
Mhm.
into this masculine workplace. And I was like, ooh, that's really toxic femininity. So like
Mhm.
actual feminine flow is like at any point in the day, I can just like take a second, close my eyes. I don't even have to close my eyes anymore. I used to have to go inward, but I can just like put my hands on my womb and be like, is this right for me? Like if I get asked something, I can be in the grocery store and even be like craving something and be like, is this really what my body needs right now? And it's like a yes or a no. Like my womb, it's really coming from my womb power. And
Mhm.
the feminine is really trusting that. So when we hear this like gut instinct, it's really our womb talking. It's really our womb, our feminine. And whether we have a physical womb or not, it's that womb energetics is still there. That womb space exists, whether that's been removed or not. And it's really like trusting that and allowing that to guide you and to not be in the mask and the people pleasing and the overgiving and the performance and hustle. So
Mhm.
when I did my massive business, I was in hustle. I had 3 small kids and I still was working like between 16 and 80 hours a week. And like our vacations, I'd have my computer open before, let's say we were in Legoland, and I would work for a couple hours before we'd go to Legoland. And then I'd be checking my phone while we'd be waiting in rides for messages from staff. And like, that's hustle. That's not feminine. That's like toxic masculinity. And
Mhm.
feminine flow is like, I picture it as like the river stream. That's like, I'm just allowing myself to go where I'm being called, go where I'm being guided. And I said today, I still have 3 kids that are in soccer. I still have to show up at soccer games when they tell me. So I can't be in this
Mhm.
like flow of show up wherever I want. But it's like, how do I bring the feminine in every day that is like just this gentle, compassionate, empathetic, emotional, because we're all emotional beings that should be expressing
Mhm.
emotions.
Mhm.
How do I bring that into my everyday and how do I embody that so that it is just a piece of me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. I know when I want to say workshop. I know that's not the right word for it, where
Okay.
you and had the 3 day,
Hmm.
with the Feel the Fear
Yes.
project, and
Yes.
you put on a slide, I
Yeah.
should say,
Yeah.
where you have that was fascinating to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my, what, because you don't think about your larynx and your, that
Mhm.
whole area was once connected. Could you explain that? Because I thought that was just beautiful, but that's something you don't think about. Because
Yeah.
who does that? Who thinks about, oh, that's connected to that? Yeah, you know what I mean?
I know. And yeah, it's so funny because I've worked with like nurses that were nurses for 40 plus years, and it's like, we were never taught this. And it's like, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not the masculine way of teaching it, right? So what
Mm-hmm.
Sheila's talking about is that I presented this slide that showed your womb space and then your throat. So basically your whole like throat chakra and
Mm-hmm.
how the larynx is like matching your vaginal canal and how like the womb space, the whole holder of the womb actually matches like your jaw and like that holding. And so what actually happens is at birth, these cells are, well, we're all one cell at conception, right? It's all one, but um, they're actually formed from the same cells. And then as our spine grows, one grows up and one grows down. And so they're actually just mirror image. They're literally just mirror images of each other. And when you actually see the physical diagram of it, it's shocking how like
Mm-hmm.
how much it is. So we talked a lot about how to really express yourself as a woman and really be in your divine power is like to come from your womb space, because we are meant to come through our womb space up through our heart as women, because that's our like emotional Sankalpa center, and then
Mm-hmm.
out through our throat, right out through our voice. And there's a massive difference between um, those of us that are pulling from the womb power and those that are just speaking from their throat basically.
You also did a beautiful meditation with that, along with that, also.
Yes. Yeah, I think that was
Mm-hmm.
one of my most, well, I mean, there's so many that download that. Um, but that
Mm-hmm.
one was like super potent. I actually really loved that one.
Mm-hmm. I hate to put you on the spot. Would you mind doing that now? Can you
I
remember?
totally, yes, give me a second because
And if
uh,
you have a picture of the
I
womb
do.
larynx,
So
that way people can visualize and see
let's,
how spectacular that really is.
yeah, let me pull both
Girl,
those up.
you are full of good stuff. You got good stuff going on.
I'm a chorusaholic, as one of my friends likes to call me. And so I'm like, I did a soul contract reading with another friend of ours, and she was like, no, you're meant to do multitudes of things. And I've heard this in my Vedic astrology chart too. I'm never meant to just be doing one thing. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I can't just do one thing. It bores me. I can't get
Yeah.
there. So
Was she also on the program with you guys?
she was Goddess
Yeah,
Catherine.
yes, yes. So
Mhm.
yeah, Goddess Catherine told me the same thing. I had a soul contract reading with her also.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
and it was
It was
beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah, it's like, wow,
And it really gives you that like reconfirmation of like things just
Mm-hmm.
like when you do a Vedic astrology chart, even when you work with me and I do like card readings for you and intuitive readings, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you already know this stuff. It's just being reminded of it again.
Yes.
So um
I didn't
just
mean to put you on the spot.
oh my gosh, don't worry about it. It's all good. I can talk and multitask too. So if you had another question while I pull it up, I have the meditation ready. I just want to find the picture, um, which was because I just did another teaching on it. So it should be like right front and center on my desktop. But of course, when you want it, oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay.
Hey,
So
let me know because I could do present or invite. Do I want to do that? I'm gonna do it. Let me know when you're ready. Maybe click and see
okay.
if it'll show on the screen, and if not, then I'll do the present or invite thing
Oh
or
no, you're not.
present.
Okay, let's see. Beautiful. Let's see. Yeah, it has a present button. So let me
Okay.
see. Share screen. Let's see if it'll just share. Okay, it doesn't like the turn on. I have it up on my screen. So why?
Yeah, let me try mine and see.
Yeah, it doesn't want to share screen, but I can load. It's letting me load a image too. So let me just see if it image file might let us do it this way.
Okay.
And see if it likes this. It's just so we can give your listeners more love, right?
Yeah, just so they can
Um,
see it. And if it doesn't work, we'll figure it out to so you guys
yeah,
can
we
at
can
least have an idea. Yeah.
exactly, right? So, um, yeah, it seems to be letting me just pull up. It's just taking a hot sec, but it is looking like it's letting me pull up the image. There we go. Okay,
Ah,
I
I see
think.
it. All right, I'm going
Do
to add
you?
it to the stage. Yep, there we go.
Perfect.
Boom
There we go. Look at that.
shakalaka.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That was so easy.
Technology.
Oh, it's funny. So yeah, it shows you here, like we were saying, how like
Mm-hmm.
your pelvic floor, that whole area mimics that like vocal cord and the jaw and everything area. The larynx really like matches the uterus, and then the vocal cords really matches your vulva as well. So yeah, seeing that image, it really helps you sink into, whoa, those are
Right.
really deep connected.
And you're saying what you're saying about that is that when we're just a seedling, that these
Mhm.
things are growing together
Yeah,
or side by side
yeah.
or and I don't know. You got to explain that, but they go different
They Yeah, they start as the
directions.
same, and then
Mm-hmm.
they start as the same seed or whatever, as the same cell, then they split, and then they actually mirror each other as they grow, but then, as our spine grows, one grows like, sinks down, so they basically already are formed, and then our spine grows, so they already mirror each other, and then the spine grows and separates them, and so,
Mm-hmm.
that's why they look so closely the same.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's just amazing. All
right?
right.
All right, do you wanna go into the meditation?
Yes, let's do it. Mm-hmm.
All right, beautiful. So we are going to be just doing a um I'm I'm going to assume, give me 1 second. Yes. Yep. That this is the right. You know what? Hold on. I might have a different one, but this might be the meditation that's meant to come through. So it might be a different meditation than you had,
That's
but
fine.
this one will bring them into their womb too. So
Right.
so we're gonna close our eyes. I always like to tell everyone to like just roll your shoulders a few times forwards and backwards, and your neck, and just stretch it out as we before we go in, and then get out those heebie-jeebies out and give it a shake, and just have 3 deep womb breaths that connect deeply in. And I want you in your next breath to really think about softening your jaw as well, because then that softens our womb space. Now I want to start at our crown, and we're just going to do a bit of a body scan and awareness into each piece of our body. So start at your crown, the top of your head, and gently move your way down to your third eye between your eyebrows, into the eyes, your left eye, then your right eye, coming down into your ears, and allow your ears to soften. Moving down, really allowing your jaw to soften. Into your throat. See if you're clenching at all. You can just take a deep swallow here too if you're feeling tension. Coming down into our shoulders. Allow those to move down from your ears. Really softening. No pressure, just presence. Think about moving your shoulders also gently backwards so your heart space opens that much more. Allow your rib cage to soften and all the organs, muscles, to gently allow them to rest. Come down into your belly, your digestive system. Just take a breath into there. Allow that fire to be doing all the work it needs to be doing there. And then we drop into our womb space and just allow your womb to soften and to fill completely. And then move into your hips. And just think about these opening and softening. Your thighs resting, allowing the chair or ground to support them. They can relax. Your knees to just soften. Your calves and shins to let go. They don't need to work right now. And just give your ankles a little bit of a circling as well, just to allow them to really release. And your toes just a little scrunch and release so they really soften and let go. And then I want you to take your hands. If they're a little bit cold, just rub them together for a second to warm them up. And we're going to take our hands onto our womb and really breathe into that womb space. And I want you to imagine inhaling a golden light into your womb, filling the entire womb space up. Deep breath, and you're going to hold it for a second to really feel that expansion in that space. And as you feel that expansion, the golden light is just moving outwards and encompassing the whole area. And on your exhale, you're just releasing any last tension and constriction. Then I want you to visualize a red thread anchoring you to the earth, coming down from your womb space, allowing all the medicine to flow from the earth to your womb. And a silver thread coming up from your womb space, connecting your womb to the moon and all of her energetics. Really feeling into that you are the bridge between the earth and the sky. Your womb holds the blueprint of your power, your voice, your deepest truth. If your womb could speak, what would she say right now? And what do you most desire from your relationship with her? You can take a moment to even just circle your womb space with your palm. Just bring the presence down into there. Take another deep breath. Really feel the connection between the golden light that's filling the womb, the red thread or cord connecting you to the earth, the silver thread or cord connecting you to the moon. Allowing all those energetics to flow through you. You are a powerhouse. We'll end with an affirmation of I trust you. I honor you. I am listening. When you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes and slowly come back to us.
That was awesome.
Beautiful. I have no idea if that's the one that I did, but it's one that was meant to come through right now, Sheila. So
Exactly. Everything is divine timing. Everything is divine timing.
it
Oh
is.
my goodness. Where did you do your studies? Like did you have to go, like I had a guest on that she went to the Deepak Chopra
Mhm.
school of study. And I'm 99% sure they do their
Yep, they do.
Ayurvedic things. So
Yeah.
did you have to go to something like that to do your studies, or
No,
um
it's actually funny. I started with Deepak Chopra's online program, and it was a very masculine form program where it was just
mhm
slides. There was no interaction. It was just like, here, power through all this. And I was like, oh, this is not how I want to do this. And
mhm
with three small kids, I couldn't pick, I would have loved to pick up and move somewhere and be like, I am deep diving into this and fully immersing myself in the magic and wonder of this. But instead, the next best thing in these years of technology is I did it all online.
oh
So
yeah
I did two different programs because I found one. So I did one with the Shakti school with a woman named Katie Silcox, and it is
mhm
a very feminine, like it's only for women. It's very feminine embodiment. She goes into a lot of because Ayurveda back in the day, the women held the knowledge, but it was all verbal. And so all the
mhm
written down knowledge that we have is actually by men. So there's not a lot on the women's studies or women's health besides like you childbirth kind of thing, not like the
mhm
energetics of it or anything. And so Shakti school very much goes into like the women's and these beautiful goddesses that have studied Ayurveda and then made it into like a feminine form. And then a couple years ago, a good friend of mine, I had met her. She'd already done a few cohorts in her school, and she had a school, and she had more of the traditional, not masculine approach. She actually takes a trauma approach, and so the two blended together. Even though they're both Ayurvedic health counselor programs, were my
mhm
3 years of study, and really rounded that out. But then I still wanted more, like I said, courseaholic. And went down to Santa Barbara, did an online piece to it that was 3 months before Santa Barbara. And there was what's called a Panchakarma, which is their like deep cleanse of your whole system in Ayurveda. And
mhm
um, there's a woman who lives in Santa Barbara who's actually German. So she's even funnier than me when she's like, beautiful. And you do 3 months online, and then you come down for 3 weeks of immersion in learning like the treatments and that kind of thing. So I did that as well. I did it actually twice because the first time was just overwhelmed with so many other things that I did go, but I just didn't get enough out of it, or I didn't think I did. I didn't trust myself. And so I went again,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I do know this stuff actually. Like I did pick it all up. I just didn't trust that I had. And it was a good refresher anyways. And I'll take treatments we gave and received a treatment every day. And so I did a little bit of in person, but most of my training has been all online, which is so amazing.
So you are very active, I see, uh, as far as your classes and what you offer. Could you tell the audience a little bit about everything you offer
Yeah.
and where to find you on your webpage?
Yeah, for sure. So it is, so my webpage is sankalpagoddesses.com. That's the same on Instagram and Facebook as well. More active on Instagram than Facebook, but, and Sankalpa is SANAL. Oh, oh my gosh. Now I'm forgetting. Sankalpa is Sankalpa, and then just goddesses .com. And I've really kind of streamlined my services. I used to have it all broken out and like I have a million things going on. Then I was like, that confuses me. So it's going to confuse everyone else in the world too. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I've gone down to very specific. I do one-to-one mentorship, which combines the Ayurveda health, the business coaching, the Oracle and Tarot card reading, the womb energetics, the feminine alchemy, the intuitive work, all of that all together. And so that I do one-to-one mentorships on that. So even if you don't have a business, that's how I work with you, even if you're just wanting to work on your health, because then it takes into account everything. So you're getting the divine guidance, you're getting the inner health work, you're getting the outer health work. And if you have a business, you're doing all that in alignment with it all. So
mm-hmm,
I offer that, and I very specifically work with women who are just at the starting phases of their business too. So they haven't actually like full on launched a business yet, but they know they want to. And that's like my sweet spot. I'm great at helping businesses grow because I've done that several times with my businesses and doubled revenues
mm-hmm.
and all these kind of things. So I can definitely do that, but I really am great at working with women, and I specifically work with women to really come into doing it in a balanced way. And then I have an 8-week wealth. So after this 5-day one, I have an 8-week starting, depending when this airs, but it's starting the start of May, but it's probably when I'll rerun. Um, Wealth, womb, and worthiness 8-week immersion. So we're going deep into the feminine. We're doing priestess work. We're doing oracle work. We're doing Ayurvedic seasonal work. We're doing wealth codes. We're doing all of that in there. It's really meant as a um, wake up the whole feminine, wake up the whole receiving and worthiness portal so that you can really
Mm-hmm.
attract in and magnetize what you're needing, or what you're wanting, not what you're needing, what you're desiring and what is meant for you. And then at the end of June or middle of June, I am also running the Sacred Siren Summer Solstice Summit. Like
SSS.
alliteration. But sometimes I'm like in my mouth. It's not as fun as when you look at it. But I'm running a free 3-day summit as well that I'm bringing in guest speakers. I'm speaking in it. And what I try to do, because I know how busy we're all in the world, that I try when I'm do things that are free. My actual things are a little bit longer, like 90 minutes, my programs. But with the free things, I try to keep it to 20 to 30 minutes so that you can bite size it and absorb what you want to be absorbing. I really hate the summits that are like 10 hours long and you don't want to miss anything and you don't even have time to
Mm-hmm.
pee and all that. So this is a very spacious, feminine flowed summit as well. So that's kind of the main 3 things that I have on the go right now. And I do my Oracle and Tarot card readings in there as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, you did. That's right, because you did do a reading
I did. I'm
for us
happy to
all
pull
on
a
that.
card for your readers if you
Let's
want.
do it. Let's do it.
Great.
Pull a card. Pull a card.
Well, I'm going to let you choose because I have the 3 decks in front of me that I always have in front of me, or goddess Viola's decks. I have
Exactly.
decks, but you can pick either her Faces of Oshun, Secrets of the Ancestors, or her Goddess African Goddess deck.
Let's do Faces of Oshun because
Okay.
that's the newest one.
It is the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
It is so beautiful. It's what I've been
It
using.
is. Oh my God, those whoever did her, I mean, well, I can't remember the name of the young lady that did her artwork, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they just draw you in. It's just like, how did she come up with that? Huh? For
Yeah.
some of the, it's just,
Yeah.
woo.
The artwork is done by Destiny Powell. And I only know that because I've done some Oracle training, like trainings with Abiola, and
Mm-hmm.
she said she's wanted her to do her last two decks. But
Mm-hmm.
she was on other projects and wasn't able to. And so she said she wasn't putting out another deck until she could work with her because she was so drawn in by her. So
Yes.
she booked her like years in advance for the Faces of a Shun deck, like because
And I
her
can see why.
just the two of them together is just like such a
Mm-hmm.
powerhouse of like
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So what would we like our listeners to be? What do we want to ask Oshun about
Um,
this?
I don't even know.
Should we just do a general then? Should we just do
Yes,
you know,
yes.
what do you
We'll
have?
do a general for the collective.
Beautiful.
Um, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. So, Goddess Sheila, whenever you want, you can tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. We were in between two, so we get two as the collective. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we got this card first. Card 42, Oshun of Cosmic, as I move away from my mic. Oshun of Cosmic Surrender, because apparently to move the card closer, I feel like I have to move closer. It's really funny. Getting my own
Okay.
readings, I'm like,
Isn't
I
that beautiful?
it's such a beautiful card, right? And so it's
Mm-hmm.
letting go, acceptance, and detachment. And she's got golden butterflies all through
All
her.
around her. Yeah.
Really feel like this card is really about that freedom and that grace and that beauty of letting go. So when we can cut those cords and let go of those attachments and let go, and we were talking about that feminine flow, and I feel like this is a true feminine flow card. Like
Again, that's my third. That's my third.
you're just drawing it in, my dear.
That's my third word. That's my third. My third message of the
Right to
same thing.
the wealth program. But yeah, so that's that card there. I am gonna actually, that one is calling me to look up her little
Okay.
saying. But the other one that we got in the split was card 22, Oshun of Shame and Regret, and it's guilt, remorse, and self-loathing. So I feel like what it's really telling us is let go of that guilt,
Mm-hmm.
and self-loathing, right? Like accept that you are a goddess, accept that you are in your feminine flow, and don't feel guilty about it. Because that
Mm-hmm.
is something else that, as I've done this work with other women and with myself, that the more you move into the feminine, sometimes the guilt can really start to take
Mm-hmm.
over. Sometimes the guilt of like, oh, but now I'm leading my own path and I'm not people pleasing anymore and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
overgiving and I'm not wearing all these masks. And sometimes that guilt bug up in our head starts like talking, and
Mm-hmm.
fear and everything that gets into there just starts saying like, who are you to do this, right?
Who
So
are you to do what you want to do and not think
exactly.
about me or not whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
How dare you think about yourself?
it can be so strong. Now I lost that second card. Do you remember what the number was? I wanted to read her.
It was cosmic the shame.
Yeah, 42 cosmic surrender. So
Oh,
four,
comes yeah.
almost at the end of the deck. I just wanted to, I felt called to come into, oh, so funny because I think this message is for you. It's for all of the collective, but
Uh-huh.
especially for you because the one liner is I trust that I am guided and supported. So for whatever reason, I don't always pull out the guidebook to read the
You
like,
cannot make this up. I'm telling you, people, all day today, I would get messages like this. You cannot make this
I
stuff
know.
up.
And the very first line of what to do now, because I'm not going to read the whole guidebook, but what to do now
Hmm.
is relinquish control and trust the flow. I'm like, yep, that's right. That's exactly where we were meant to go today.
That's right.
It's a feminine flow
It's
day.
a feminine flow day.
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome. Well, young lady, I like to thank you. One last thing.
of course.
If you could talk to little Marnie, what would you tell her now?
Oh, if I could talk to little Marnie, well, I do talk to my inner child a lot, but if I could actually like go back and be there with her, I would tell her to trust herself, to be
Mm-hmm.
okay being the witchy weird one, because I
Mm-hmm.
had those inklings of intuition and like my estranged, like my dad's estranged from, she's passed now, his mother, but she was very much into palm reading and tea leaf reading, but she was always shunned, so she was very much
Mm-hmm.
like the witches.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever any of that pulled me, I always tamped it down because I didn't want to upset my dad. I didn't want to go against the norm. So I would go back to her and be like, trust those inklings, trust yourself, and like be guided by that intuition and your ancestors. They're there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Goddess Marnie. Thank
You
you.
got it, Sheila.
Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't she awesome? I told you she has all that stuff going on. She has it going on. Thank you. Well, please like and subscribe, comment, tell us what you enjoyed about the show today. I appreciate you. Love you guys. Till next time. Bye for now.